That was while I was visiting in Virginia. That was her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, Tim Beeson. All of my stuff is soaked. Starbucks is not able to dry my stuff, obviously. I don't have any money for a dryer. I am freezing. It is so cold. My window being busted out and the fact that I should have doubled up on the plastic, but I want to be able to see out of it still makes it kind of an issue. Natalie was in a lot of pain. She was also on opiates because of that pain. I'm going to have to turn on my heater here because that's what I'm using to dry my clothing. I used the money that I got soaked in order to get. I was able to get, I want to say $7, $6, something like that. And I went into the Starbucks and got me a coffee. I'm not able to actually warm up with my heater in here with the slight breeze that goes through on the far window and the fact that all of my clothes are wet. So I'm trying to warm up in here. I sort of almost warmed up in Starbucks. We got a break in the weather now, but it's starting to get dark, and as y'all know, that's not a safe time to panhandle. You can if you're at a outdoor mall type of place sometimes, but a lot of times that'll bring a lot of negative attention. Either you'll get a drunk coming out of a bar who wants to start a fight, or you'll get the bar owner who sees that dude trying to start a fight with you, but he blames you because you're the homeless guy. If you hadn't been there, that guy wouldn't have tried to beat you up. It's incredibly nuts. Anyway, I'm trying to warm up. I was able to get the stuff off of my clandestine recording device and put onto my computer, but I gotta try to come up with money for coffee tomorrow too. I'm gonna have to do that tomorrow morning, however, because of how late it's getting. There are a lot of people who have good intentions, but there's a particular way that these guys want you to jump through the hoops. And you have to try it by their method or they claim you didn't try. Unfortunately, they're right. The systems that are there and in place are there and in place for a reason. They can work, you just have to actually get involved. When that guy down the street with Down syndrome is being abused because he's got Down syndrome, no other reason, he's got Down syndrome. Or that guy who's schizophrenic in Chapel, Nebraska, whose mom moved in with him as an alcoholic. Of course, everything is always his fault, isn't it? And she's pretending like she has to be the one babysitting him, and it's not the case. You're not allowed to be different in this country. It's not allowed. It will not be tolerated. That's the message that we get loud and clear. Not just from the media, but also from social media. You guys get to decide who is and is not worthy to be called victim. How crazy is that? Telling people they're not the right color to be a victim. Or they need to go to the back of the bus because they're not the right color. That's not okay. No matter what color that person is, it's not okay. I don't understand how that concept is so difficult for people to understand. Where is this magic difference that you guys keep wanting to pretend exists? You tell us that we need to be tolerant of black people, and we need to be tolerant of Asians, and we need to be tolerant of a lot of other people, while you are intolerant of us. You in specific, not all Asians, not all blacks, not all women, but you in specific, taking part in this, taking part in what makes the system not work. See, I did the things that you're supposed to do, while people wanted to argue as if they knew better. Well, I'd already gone to the professionals before I ever talked to you, so that's the thing, is that I am going to be more informed than you, number one, on my situation, and number two, on the legal ramifications of everything that I do. If something is, yes, absolutely necessary for the preservation of human lives, yes, I may absolutely break the law here in the United States. It's legal to do so in that situation. And in that situation, if that's what it takes to save a life, that is what will be done. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. We always got to try to hope it doesn't come to that. But when it does come to that, somebody has to be willing to do what it takes to save these lives. Somebody who's not going to use violence as an answer. If I exhibit the same behaviors as my predators, it's somehow magically illegal, when it's not illegal, apparently, if they do it to me. It's also apparently not illegal to cut me off from the ability to show those things in court. Well, there's the legal stuff that is and is not allowed, and then there's the way that my predators are playing it. Many of these people did not start off intending to be predators. They started off with good intentions, but they screwed up, and rather than admit that they screwed up, they wanted to hide it. They wanted to play on the same stereotypes that they're supposed to be advocating against. They're supposed to be advocating against, well, you guys victimizing us over things that were proven to be wrong all the way back in the 90s. Your assumptions about autism, they're wrong. Your assumptions about people with Down syndrome is wrong. You don't want to admit it, though. You think somehow that if you refuse to admit it, then it makes it untrue. Well, that's simply not how it works. Believe what you want, right? A lot of people say that or type that at me. Well, I do believe what I want, but I also research. I make sure I know my stuff before I start spouting. Now, if it's an extreme emergency, like the situation with Jamie Curtis, she told me to fix it. I didn't know how to fix it beyond what I tried. Now, for me, going in and spending money at Starbucks, that makes it so that it's all right for me to be out here. Of course, finishing my Starbucks up and going out and trying to make more money should be a priority. This late at night, though, since I still have internet stuff that I got to do and I got to try to get hooked up, I got to go spend part of the $2.85 that I have, which is enough to get a cup of coffee here at Starbucks tomorrow. I'm going to be spending that over at McDonald's, because at least there I can stay in my car for a bit. But I also want to show you what my light's doing. My check engine light is absolutely on, and it's absolutely not pleasant. So let's show this here. I can't tell if you're able to see it or not, because I can't actually see the front of the phone, and also where the camera is on this is actually behind the thing that makes the camera flip the opposite direction. This weather is not fun, and also with it, it's supposed to be getting cold, and I got another emergency storm weather thing on, and they've been blowing up my phone with it. Apparently, we're supposed to get really bad weather tonight. Supposed to get really bad weather last night. Last night I couldn't record. It was too loud. I mean, it was not just the rain, but also it was this piece of plastic shaking back and forth. And then, of course, there was a little bit of time there where I was trying to weatherproof and waterproof the stuff that's in here, because this car leaks like a sieve. It's no bueno. There's folks that wanted to help that just didn't have the time, didn't make the time actually, but that's not my decision. Let's take a look out my window here. You can't hardly see what's on the other side, can you? It's a tree. Let's look out this window here. Can't hardly see out of it either, can you? No, not really. Anyway, my phone is overheating, my vehicle is overheating, I am almost out of gas, and fuck, that hurts. Let's see, maybe this will make it so we can see it better. I'm gonna try clicking on the camera itself is in that corner. If I turn it sideways like this, nope, it's not gonna do that. Alright, well, I guess I screwed up. I'm trying though. Obviously my fears are not unfounded. Obviously I am trying to expend the resources that I have, at least in a manageable way where my safety is at least the top concern for me, even if it's nobody else's. Somebody has to be a voice for the voiceless. And a lot of people that told me that they would help me, they ended up letting me know that they don't have what it takes to speak up. They're too afraid. I can't blame myself for that. That's not my decision for them to be fraidy cats. I'm often told that I make too many excuses for my predators. A lot of times their fears are legitimate. Why would I want to rob them of that? It's dismissive. Yeah, sure, a lot of people do that to me, and yes, I will absolutely pretend like they're stupid. I'll also tell you when somebody actually is, so I'm kind of nice like that. Having that Ted Burner, Fred Burner account guy making also other accounts pretending to be other people, impersonating others. I mean, seriously, this stuff doesn't just happen on the internet, it also happens in real life, and that's the point of this. That officer from Virginia showed all of you, that if these people go unchecked, they do horrible things. What else happened to Virginia? A Walmart parking lot that I slept in while I was in Virginia in 2016, while a manager went in and killed some people. Primarily minorities, just went in and blasted them. I pay attention to current events in the world around me. Where did this Hades begin for me with Natalie Bollinger? It started for me when she was pretending that she was being stalked, or her sister wanted her to, I don't know which. And at this point, it doesn't matter. What matters is the people who could have actually set things straight just by showing up in court did everything that they could to make sure that they didn't have to. Any excuse was good enough. I'm going to run out of gas here shortly. And I hope I last at least a little bit before that happens. I hope I get a little bit of stuff done before that happens. I can't do everyone's job for them, and I do acknowledge that. I can't do all of this alone, and a lot of people have told me that. Sean, you can't do this alone. I'm aware. You think I'm trying to get help for no reason? I know I can't do it alone. I'm not allowed to do it alone. That's the point I've been trying to make. Without friends or family, they're in person, who care. It makes everything 100 times harder to get anything done. It's a lot more difficult to turn your predators into CPS or to adult protective services. It's a lot easier when you go in with somebody from the very start. Because if they don't do their jobs because they want to triage you out, they all feel overwhelmed and they've got too many people already, and you happen to be a male, they already know that your chances are next to nil. No, they don't want to pick up your case even if it is their job. They don't want to get reprimanded because this stuff is supposed to be for women and children in a lot of people's minds. In reality, it's supposed to be for all of us. All of us. Any adult who is being victimized is an at-risk adult. Do you not get that? There are criteria that put us all at risk. And between acknowledging them or screaming at the wrong people, you'd rather scream at the wrong people. You got less than it's actually right around a 1 in 1,000 chance of being abducted and killed by a murderer instead of someone or a stranger instead of someone you know. Out of every 1,000 murders, most of the time it is someone that you know. And that goes for most crimes. You guys really hang on the ones that it turns out they don't know the person, don't you? Your web sleuth groups and your true crime groups, and you also don't want to acknowledge the damage that things like that do to innocent people and innocent lives. You think that Natalie's mom and her sister wanted to go through all this, especially after losing their daughter, their sister? No, they didn't. And neither did I. But Alicia Bollinger worked together with my predators to make sure that I couldn't take her to court. That's not acceptable. It's inhumane. And it doesn't matter how much evidence I have. My predators can simply call me mentally ill and pretend it didn't happen. This is complete insanity. The fact that you guys go along with it, knowing that it's killed so many people. You want me to shut up about it. You want to be angry about the situation with Natalie over slander that you heard. You didn't bother to find out if those things were true. My predators will complain all day long about how I had to ultimately react to long-term abuse by these people. I'm not supposed to be angry. I'm not allowed to be angry. Well, I am angry. I have every right to be angry. These things that you want to say it's wrong for me to do. I told you that those things were wrong for people to do, didn't I? When I told you others were doing them to me, and you told me just to let it go. Just to let it go. Swell friend you are. That's not help. That's not friendly. How is telling the victim to shut up and go to the back of the bus help? I think that's a valid question. How is telling somebody that they can't be a victim because of their skin color? How does that help? How is that righteous or just? How is that equal? You say it's okay because white people did these things to you, or men did these things to you. Which men? Go after those men in court. Those men. Instead of going after somebody who's just real easy to victimize. Someone who's real easy to take advantage of. Alright, so I suppose I ought to take the opportunity here to end this video. It's good to be rid of you. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper, and no victim left behind.